The real estate market often seems like a distant world where only an elite of experts is successful. In a time of so much uncertainty in the air and bad news, real estate investing can seem intimidating. But today, I want to tell you that if you make the right decision today, you can enter the real estate market from the back door. Bad credit record? No credit at all? Do you dread the idea of having a home loan? Do you dream of owning investment properties? You are in the right place and right time, because we have created a program which is a tax lien and deed investment online course of only 14 hours. This course is specially designed for people like you who have big dreams. You will learn at your own pace and everything from your home computer. This is your chance. Join our membership for $19.99 a year. What are you waiting for? Visit our website primetimehomebuyerBuyback.org and sign up today for course access.
Blessings, blessings. Welcome to Primetime Home Buyers, and you're here with your host, Lady Lashley, the owner of Primetime Home Buyers. We're here every week at the Adams Street Library having an economic development seminar, and you're welcome to come in person or online. I want to say thank you so much for being with us today. Today we're going to update the audience. We did some updates, okay? The last session that we did with our economic development seminar was talking about key concepts that will get your how to say get the groove going in your head about certain things that you need to do for your business to make sure that it's structured properly. Also, we went into what is actual generational wealth, assets versus liability, a lot of concept based material that help a lot of people who attend and watch build those ideas or fill the gaps that they may have not thought about when thinking about being one, an entrepreneur and or a community leader. So we try to build the bridge between understanding how to be an entrepreneur and being an effective community leader, driving change by while communicating with the government at the same time. Okay, so that's some of the things that we did in the first series. But I said today we're going to do something a little bit different. Yeah, okay, look at that door closed. I don't want to be too loud. We're going to do something a little bit different where I have revamped the program. And what we want to do is make sure that we have actionable things for you to do. So at the end of the series, or the fall series, you're going to be able to do two things. One, create a robust marketing plan for your particular business, because I'm going to highlight some key concepts that a lot of us fail in when we're creating our marketing plan and kind of show you how to go about doing that. That's like market analyzation, getting ready for your loan, preparing yourself with real actionable plans based on your situation. You know, we're not selling you a dream. So we want to get into that. And lastly, we're going to offer with the new updates is that we're going to bridge that information while you constructing your business plan and things like that. We're going to move you into thinking about how to expand your business by acquiring assets such as real estate. How can your business benefit from having some type of real estate? But we're not going to talk about just that, but we're going to go into the avenues that you can use that you can actually invest without having to break the bank. So towards the last 3 to 4 weeks of this program, it's going to be very action packed. We're going to go into how to invest in foreclosures, deep, deep dive. We're going to also go into how to invest in deeds, what's the difference, as well as tax liens, where you can use that as an investment avenue or a property acquisition avenue. So this is what we have to offer you, and I'm very, very excited. So without further ado, let's get some things started. Again, our objective is to educate and invest in community development, promoting entrepreneurship, small business development, as well as with the goal of improving infrastructure and accountability in our neighborhoods. Okay, so let's go. So the first thing we're going to do a PowerPoint first. This PowerPoint is pretty short, But what I have learned is that I'm going to do more talking. So we're going to do this just like we're in a seminar. Okay. I mean, a real live college seminar where you have a professor dictating to you and you may want to take notes. Can't make it that easy. So the first half, you're going to have a few PowerPoints to follow, and then we're going to be talking about concepts, and you're going to have some homework to do. Okay, so let's get. So the first PowerPoint that we're going to be focusing on is 5 keys of building a business that secures assets. What is that? Okay, get your pens and paper ready, guys. Thank you again for being here, and thank you for all our new partners. We'll be letting you know about them. I'm excited. All right, so these are some of the things we're going to be talking about today, which is 5 keys building a business that secure assets for investment. So developing a clear business plan, focusing on business building strong cash reserves, diversifying your asset base. This is what we're going to talk about. Implement effective asset management practice, and that goes back to the beginning. I skipped over the first 2 modules because I will hope that you guys have access to the assets versus liability seminar. Where it's going to teach you about budgeting savings and how to implement that on your budget. So that's why diversifying your asset base, implement an effective asset management practice. If you can do it at home, you can do it for your business. If you can manage your home property and your bills property properly, 9 out of 10, you're not going to run an effective business. Reinvestment profits for long-term growth. And that's where we're going to kind of hint into invest in real estate and other things that you will be able to liquidate on a long-term basis. Okay. So developing a clear business. A well-crafted business plan is the foundations of any successful entrepreneurship. It outlines your company's mission, vision, strategies for achieving your financial goals. Right there, put it on a list. Homework. What is your business mission? What is your vision? And what are some of the strategies that you would take to achieve your financial goal? Now, I want you to take the time to put these 3 subtopics on a paper or in your phone right now and talk text something to you. Save it, and I need you to go back and then you start to revamp it when you have time. We need you to start thinking about these ideas now because these 3 things that we're just talking about is literally the beginning of your business plan. So if you do that this evening, right now, while we're talking, you have some part of your business plan already on the go. Do you see how we're going to flow here, guys? This is how we're going to flow. So you want to know a description of your product or service. What is the description of it? How would it help? Why is your service needed? Write that. That's part of your business plan. We're constructing a business plan. Market analyzation and target audience. That's something that we have to go in detail about. So that's why I have a particular section, a whole day that's going to be dedicated to learning how to market analyze based on your product. We're going to show you that. Competitive landscaping and competitive advantages. So you're going to want to learn about your competition today. Write down who's in your industry, who is selling cars, who is producing shoes, who is doing whatever. Who is your competition? And what are their advantages? And what is their disadvantages? Or what is your advantage? So we're already on 4 different things that you should have as topics that you want to just answer lightly today. They don't have to be detailed. A paragraph usually consists of 5 sentences, and we try to construct a whole thought when it comes to these concepts. All right. So organization structure. Sorry. Organization structure and management team. All right. So these are some of the things you want to think about now. This is all part of your business plan. So what is going to be the structure of your business? Is it a one-man band? Do you just need a manufacturing company? Do you need the internet? Do you need Wi-Fi? What do you need? How is your organization structure going to look like? Maybe today to start out and possibly what it's going to look like in 3 years? What do you want it to be? Okay, these are the subtitles of topics that's going to be in your business plan. So as we're talking about this today, just create a subtopic. Think about it. Text it to yourself in an email and send it to yourself and go look at it again and you'll be able to revamp it. This is how I got a lot of stuff done, guys. It's very important. So you want to think about marketing and sales strategies right now. How would I sell my product? What are the innovative ways of doing it? What is the cheapest way of selling my product? What is the easiest way to get my, can I go on Etsy? Do I just have to create an Instagram page? Do I need a website? And we're going to talk about credibility because these are the things that you can get over time as far as website. You don't want to break the bank and do certain things. You want to generate some income, prioritize what you're doing. So again, the organization structure and management team, these are things that a lender will love to see in your business plan and it makes you more credible. It makes you more credible. Marketing and sales strategy, again, that is in your business plan. I'm not going to go deep into marketing, but I think we're going to be just going into finances and a few other things. But marketing is a big old doozy, but you want to at least have some type of indication that you have an idea how you're going to market, where you can get the most from, and things like that. Financial projections, including revenue, expenses, and cash flow. You're going to start now. And if you're doing that at home, like we taught you in the beginning, assets versus liabilities for beginners, it's going to be easy for you to do it for your business. It's going to be really easy. So financial projections, including revenues that you may can get. What are your revenues? Like I always give you an example. My business have different revenues. It could be from investing in homes. It could be from selling access to my course. It could be what I have on Eventbrite, where I have little mini seminars, whatever, consultations. What are going to be your revenues to diversify your portfolio within your business as far as services as well? Okay, what are the ways that you can have automated revenue coming in? Does that make sense? And these are the things that you're thinking about, but it should be in your business plan. When you tell the lender or whoever you're trying to borrow money from, well, my financial projection is this because I have this avenue, I have made this amount, I sell my product with this amount of money, and this is a possibility I can generate based on market information. And they're like, wow, okay. Focus on building strong cash reserve. Diversify, diversify, diversify. Cash revenues are the lifeblood of any business. They provide a financial cushion during challenging times, enabling you to take advantage of growth opportunities and help secure assets for investment. Okay, I'm gonna have to turn y'all. Y'all know my eyes been looking at the screen, bless them. All right, so just bear with me. All right, so prioritize your profits, ensuring your business generates significant profits to cover operational expenses and reinvest into company. You want to make sure that your operational expenses is as low as possible. That's why sometimes you don't always have to have a brick and mortar for your business. That can be the goal for it. That's why we want to show you those avenues of getting brick and mortar. But if you can establish a business online and sell your services online a cheap way, that's the best way to go. Manage working capital effectively. Spend your money wisely. Make sure you spend your money IRS legally. Separate your home income from your business income. Make sure you be ready to write off. Keep your stuff in line. Okay. Optimize the inventory levels, pay terms, collections, and maintain a healthy cash flow. If you have a person that they have a hard time paying a certain amount, you can work out payment plans with these people. Make sure that you have a good contract that is enforceable, and just try to be flexible so you can make sure that you always have some type of cash flow coming in. Okay, implement cost saving measures, regular review of expenses, and identifying opportunity for cost reduction. Whatever you can do to try to lower your spending, do it. That's the most important, but don't, not whatever. If you have products as far as, you're selling certain things, you don't want to go to cheap route, things that's going to break, things that's not going to prove valuable for your customers. So don't go too cheap, but you have to diversify. If you have a market out here in America that's high to buy this particular thing you need for your product, you may want to outsource to another country. That's why I said do close your options off. You want to know people, meet people, have innovative ideas. That's why I love meeting people from different cultures because they have different ways of doing stuff that me and you was not subjected to in our American environment or whatever. Okay. Set aside funds for emergency. Establish a reserve fund to cover unforeseen expenses and revenue and shortfalls. That is everything that we went through on the assets versus liability seminar. If you're doing that at home, you'll be able to do it at work, in your business. We're not saying that save $1 million. That's not virtually possible in our economy right now. But what's possible is that you can tie 10, $20 into yourself. 10, whatever your budget is, you take 10 to 20% and you put that to a side to a place that you can't touch, bank account that you don't have a card to, that's not transferable to anything else, and you forget about it. You can do the envelope method that I talked to you about. But this is just personal, remember the envelope method where you're gonna take it still that envelope, put it under your bed. If you're from the islands, you know what I'm talking about. But whatever it is, you want to have set aside funds in an emergency because we don't know. We don't know what's gonna happen in these next couple of days or even when we wake up. All right, so diversifying is a crucial strategy for managing risk and securing assets. So diversify your asset base by spreading your investment across various asset classes. You can minimize the impact of market volatility and protect your business from potential loss. Consider the following asset classes for their diversification. Let's talk about it. You know what we got there. First thing, real estate. Yeah, that's wealth of God. So real estate land. Okay, invest in commercial or residential properties to generate rental income or appreciate in value over time. Some people just want to have land and you hold it as an asset. And that asset of just having land can be a foundational base for you to secure a loan because you have assets already that's liquidatable, able to be liquidized in a aspects that you won't be able to pay that loan. Lenders love that type of stuff. Okay. Equipment. If you need equipment for your business, you're a shirt maker. You send your shirts out to manufacturers. It costs you this amount to pay them, get it sent. It's just a little arm and a leg. When you probably can invest in a machine that you need, do it yourself, save a little bit of money, and then in the long run, you end up saving thousands of dollars. So invest in the equipment that you need. That's why you don't make when you make a profit, it's not pro fit, like go get a pro fit outfit. Go take that profit and put it back into your business and make sure that you have a savings with that. At least for the first 2 to 3 years of any business, that's the practice that I will recommend that money is not yours. If you're making profit in the first year or so, the best thing you can do is cut out an income for you and stick to that. That income is your salary. You keep it, you make sure you're doing it legal. You can increase it as the income comes, whatever is your part of your organization structure, that's fine, but it has to be some form of way of doing things. One, because you have to separation of monies, and that's the personal money and the business money. Does that make sense? And while we're doing this right in the beginning, these are the things that you're going to be presenting to the lender. These are the things that you're going to be presenting alongside with your business plan to let them know I'm ready. I have a separate bank account. I don't play with that money. Or I have some land right here that's going to be held in trust, or it's just held in the business name, and it could be liquidized if you help me get a line of credit. These type of things. You're going to have some invisible negotiation power. Come in there and set with pocket full. Do you see what I'm hearing? Let's go. Also, intellectual property. You want to secure your intellectual property. This is part of your asset base, your business, your logo. Copyright your stuff. Do it when you're not making a lot of money. Do it when a lot of people are not looking at you. You'll be able to say this for yourself, especially if you know you have a good product that someone will try to mimic or take. Okay. I think that's one of the primary investments that you should look for doing in the first year, no matter what, especially if you're serious about your business, no matter what. Okay, and you having some type of profit. Okay, so securities, yes, securities are not something that you can only do on a personal note. You want to have securities attached to your business. because that makes you more credible. It makes you look more stable, and it opens up your portfolio for your business. Your business is an entity, and your goal is to separate your personal self from this entity and build this entity up. So you'll be in a different tax bracket as well as tax different, and you'll be able to utilize the benefits of having a business and those tax breaks that goes with that. So this is why it's important to start another entity, have that established properly, and understanding the tax benefits. So then you can take that and open your bank account, open a little 401k for your business when you be on the employee, whatever you need to do. Because one thing I want to highlight to you guys, plan for your retirement. That's something I think a lot of business owners don't do. Get in there, we like, we have a business, and 50 years down the line, it's like, dang, how can we get out this business? We didn't prepare our kids to take the business. They don't have nothing to do with it. We just been running it ourselves. We don't have no one to give it to. All types of stuff. This is part of your business plan, not your initial, but you want to add it. The business plan are very flexible and always changing. So you always enhance it. Even if you submit your business plan for a loan, you got the loan and everything's good, you go back to that business year plan within that year, see if you're accomplishing the things that you planned, and then see what you can revamp to get there. Does that make sense? So the business plan is also, you're gonna use that as a guide. It's gonna be your holy Bible for your business. Does that make sense? So I do a few concepts out here. Please let me know if I'm talking fast. Everyone slow down and put it on replay. I'm gonna slow down, but when I get going, we get going. But there's a few concepts that I've already mentioned. I need you guys to not only think about, but actually create a subcategory and write a sentence about it that relates to your particular business. How can I diversify my asset base based on my business? And then you think of something and you just text it to yourself, send it to yourself, label it, and you come back and look at it when you need to add it to your business plan and actually enhance it. Okay. Next, implementing effective assessment assets. Implementing effective asset management practice. This goes all the way back to the beginning of what we're talking about. If you ain't budgeting your money at home, you're not budgeting your money at work. It starts with your practices at home. Be loyal to yourself and your family, and then you can be loyal to your business. It's much easier when you get yourself into a practice, especially with um, separating your money, paying your bills on time, having discipline, not just spending on anything, having a goal. You start with a little goal for yourself. I want to go on vacation. I'm like, whatever. Or I want to buy this machine. Start with a little goal and you're saving and then work your way through it. It'll work. You get close to your goal, you get $1,000 check, like, oh, God done did it. Because he saw me try. All right, put faith with your works as well. Thank God, you know what I'm going to do here. All right. So once you have acquired assets, it is essential to manage the effectiveness to maximize your value and minimize your risk. Maximize your value, minimize your risk. Now, again, that goes with what are assets versus liability. What? Make sure that the company you keep, the things you're using for your products, are more of an asset than a liability because it'll take more from you. That's actually telling your value. So remember, when we talk about assets versus liability, it's the company you keep, the relationships, the skills you have. Conduct regular audits. This is what we have to do. That's what I say. Go back to that business plan after you got that money and see, are you accomplishing what you said you was going to accomplish? Audit yourself. Fix it. Audit your house. Oh, there's some things in this house I got to fix. It's just not working. It's causing chaos. Start with your home. Then you can move on to a business. I have to stress that. Your home is not together, your business gonna be all over the place. So establish clear practice, policies and procedures, boundaries, rules and regulations, okay? Your rules and regulations and boundaries, okay? Develop guidelines for asset acquisition, disposal, and maintain maintenance to ensure consistency and accountability. But let's just think about this a little bit further. Develop guidelines for assets acquisition. How are we gonna do that? Well, if I'm doing stocks, I'm not gonna spend more than $300 taking a risk on this. This is what I could, and if I make money this month doing the $300 investment, then that That's right here. That's showing you um, that is one a way to acquire assets, and going to be practicing discipline, sticking to your policies and procedures and guidelines in regards. That's just an example of an acquisition approach, but you need to have that for your business as well. So since we're talking about business and business planning, you may want to add a section that says, what is our policies and procedures? What is my procedure? Lay it out there and you're going to always advance. And your procedures sometimes will create a schedule for you. I'm thinking about myself, like as far as me, I run a one man band, and like I said, we have teachers online, but as far as my procedures and my policies is to continue to always market, make sure that the product is out there. I'm always educating. How am I going to do that? What are my procedures? Well, every week I'm out there marketing. Every week I'm trying to build a relationship with some type of partner. Or every week, that's part of my policies and procedures. Does that make sense? And when you have a real business that's under real like state policies and procedures, that's different. But you see how we're expanding on these ideas so you can be self-starters here? Does that make sense? Okay, so leveraging technology. Yes, if you don't need a brick and mortar, you don't always need a brick and mortar. But I push to always have land and long-term assets and God's wealth because that's what you need. But right now, that does not mean you can't make money in this day's world because you can sell anything online and connect to anywhere in the world. So you use that to your advantage. So utilize asset management software to track and monitor your assets, automated processes, and generate reports. Now, that's directly into dealing with assets acquisition and tracking your assets. As far as you're dealing with stocks, if you're dealing with bonds, you're looking at the market, you're tracking it, putting these process on automated, generating reports, yada yada yada. Leveraging technology as well is when you're putting out. I give you an example. I'm marketing, so I can go back to these platforms that I put my posts out and see how many people viewed it. Was this working right? Was it not? What can we revamp? Again, that's giving back to what you have done, reevaluating, being flexible, as well as paying attention to what you can leverage and mitigating, some things, some laws. You always go back. Okay. So maintain adequate insurance coverage. Whatever you have, if you need insurance, get it. That's it. You get a house, get insurance. You get a car, get insurance. Sometimes on the equipment that you buy for your particular business, get insurance. It helps. If you keep it in your apartment, just get renter's insurance and add that to the listing. You want to protect yourself. So y'all know how I am as being the nurse of real estate. That's what I call myself. I want to save y'all from going to the doctor. Okay. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay. After this, I'm gonna do more talking, and it's not gonna be much on the screen. It's gonna be me a talk through for the other half an hour. So get ready for the lecture, guys. And it's gonna be key points that I need y'all to highlight so y'all can do your homework. Reinvesting profits for long-term growth. Again, profits is not a new outfit. Profit is to be used to reinvest into your business and or to save according to the IRS. Okay. It'll save you from having problems with the IRS if you keep that in your mind. To secure assets for investment, it is essential to reinvest profits back into the business. The strategy not only strengthens your asset base, but also fuels long-term growth and competitiveness, considering the flow of reinvesting opportunities. One, research and development. Invest in your education. Everything is not free. Go get the skills you need. That is the most non-tangible asset you can have. As a Haitian descent, I was always taught they can take your clothes, they can take your house, they can take everything from you. They can't take your mind and they can't take your belief in God, but they can't take what you have learned. And you can always take those skills and apply it no matter where you're at. So research and development and always educating yourself is important. But in this particular aspect, we're talking about research and development, allocating funds to innovativeness, product development, and process improvement to stay ahead of the competition. If you're selling something and you notice that you have an influx of 1,000 orders, you're gonna have to find a way to implement a better way to do it so it can get out fast. And it may not be comfortable at first, but once you do it, you're gonna see your profit margin, and then you're gonna get used to implementing it. And you're gonna take a lot of the burden off of yourself. So research and development, especially when you're expanding on your particular industry, because you have to find ways to work smarter, not harder. Marketing and advertising. I'm not an expert in that, guys. I'm trying. I'm a straight shooter. So if you are a specialty in that, help me out. But let's just give y'all some concepts. Marketing and advertising. Increasing your marketing budget to expand your customer base into new markets or launch new products. So you want to be innovative, expand your ideas, be creative into new markets. Like for instance, you won't just want to use Amazon and sell. You want to probably go on, um, I don't know what Temu, but you know the other places. You want to expand where you're selling SD, things like that, improving your chances of you being able to acquire cash flow. And then we move on to marketing. Okay, that's marketing. Training and development. That goes into education. Educate, educate, educate. Do your due diligence. Again, I'm going to highlight in this seminar, like I did in the last seminar, one of our downfalls last time around when Trump was in the office and all the Black people want to start businesses. I think a good majority of us did not do our due diligence. We fell in love with what was going on Instagram and to people who was selling snake oil, and a lot of us lost a lot of money, or and a lot of us did not prepare realistically for the business we want to get in. So we have to have training and development. It may not be fun at first, but having lectures like this is going to give you that work. Okay. And this one free, free, free. Also, you can go on places like Udemy, Fiverr, different places where people teach. Fiverr, even if you go to consult with someone and they're doing a particular job, I have found that the Fiverr's consultants and specialists, they're willing to teach you too. Because these are specialists who walked away from their industry and their own freelancing. So don't sell them out. Don't sell them short. You'll learn stuff because people from other countries telling you what work there, work here, and so definitely always strive to learn and educate, educate, educate. Infrastructure and facilities. This is very important. I think as the Black community, we have to pay attention to infrastructure, and not what they're going to do to fix it, what we're going to do to fix it. What we're going to do, we're going to learn the market, we're going to do our due diligence, and we're going to obtain these places, and we'll fix the infrastructure. We're going to create transit in our area. We're going to do this. Okay. So infrastructure and facilities. Upgrade your infrastructure, equipment, and facilities to improve efficiency, productivity, and capacity. So again, we're going to focus on infrastructure and facilities. These are the things that you want to maybe, if it applies to your business plan, add it. If it's not infrastructures and facilities, say facilities. What facilities can I obtain or invest in that's going to help me have revenue or a long-term asset? And these are the things that we're incorporating in our business plan. So in conclusion, we're just going to conclude this portion real quick. Creating a business plan that secure assets for investment require a strategic and proactive approach. So a lot of the things that I talked about today are key elements of business plans that you should focus in on. So it was a good talk through, but just remember when we go into lending and market analysis, we're going to do a whole presentation on that. That's going to teach you how to apply that to your business and add that to your business plan. So you can look more credible or be more credible to the lender. Mhm. So in conclusion, create a business plan and secure assets for investment require a strategic and proactive approach. You can do this by developing a clear business plan, focus on building strong cash reserves, diversifying your asset base, implementing effective asset management management practices, investing in profits, and reinvesting profits for long-term growth, equipment, things that you would need. You're gonna put it in a 401k portfolio. You're gonna put it into a trust for the business to pay bills through the trust. Whatever you need to do, make sure it's gonna be either for a long-term or even a short-term goal for the business. Okay, does that make sense? Yes. Okay, so let's put this on the screen real quick. We're gonna play this real quick and then we're gonna do our seminar portion, I mean our lecture portion. I like lectures. You know what? Yep, I like lectures. Let's just play this real quick. This is one of the actual a few of the seminars that we have to offer. And go a word from our sponsors.
Tired of opportunities that seem out of reach or too mainstream, struggling to break into the real estate market? The alternative real estate investment seminars are the game changer. Tired of traditional opportunities that seem out of reach or too mainstream to yield significant profits? Enter a smarter path with our expert led seminars designed for aspiring investors eager to explore tax lien and deed investments. This platform offers tailored consultant services and detailed strategies for lucrative returns. Dive deep into expansive learning with on-demand real estate educational seminars and seize the moment to transform investment dreams into reality. Ready to unlock potential? Check us out today.
All right. Give me 1 second, y'all. I think I have one more portion that we're gonna talk through, and we're gonna be done in the next 20 minutes. Thank you for being here. Okay, here we go. I was like, where is it? Let's get it. Blessings. Hit the like button. Thank you for being here. Thank you for having the mind to digest this. I pray that this information help you grow. Okay. So what we're going to be talking about a little bit to add on to this subject, and we will be assigning homework. Unlocking growth, how strategic asset acquisition creates leverage and builds your business credibility. So again, we're going to talk about assets acquisition. And we know what is leverage, but if you don't know, we're going to just go into these concepts. So what is leverage? So forget about the idea that leverage is solely about debt. While debt plays a role, true leverage in business means using a representatively small amount of resources, capital, time, or effort to control or to get a larger portion of a profit outcome. Okay. When we talk about assets acquisition and credibility, leverage manifests in several ways. So we have to know the concept of leverage so we can understand how to make ourselves credible so we can start acquiring assets. Financial level, user and borrowing capacity to acquire assets that generate return exceeding the cost of the borrower. So you don't want to borrow money in the aspect I'm just going to pay it back or make enough to pay it back. You want to borrow money in the aspects to know that you're going to be able to pay this back and make a profit. And how do you do that? By having a robust business plan, something that is tangible and actionable. Operational leverage, acquiring assets that make your business more efficient, productive, capable and allow you to do more with less. Work smarter, not harder. This is leverage. This is another concept of leverage. Using your mind, your creative ways of thinking to figure out how to leverage what you have. Okay. Only key assets signal stability. So reputational leverage. This is what we're talking about. Reputation is everything. Not only honesty, not only paying your bills and credit, but reputational as well. Being a person of your word, volunteering, being there in the community. For reputational leverage, only key assets signal stability, um, capability and commitment enhance your standing with stakeholders. So when they see you own things in the community, they know you're going to be there, they know you care, they know you're going to, reinvest. The power of strategic assets acquisition. So again, we're gonna go into tangible assets versus intangible. Just that concept to keep in mind, because I want you guys to understand that assets is not only the things you hold. You guys have a lot of assets just in your brain. You just gotta put them out there. Okay. So the power of strategic assets acquisition. Assets aren't just entries on balance sheets or tangible items. They are engines of your business and appendages. Strategies, strategic assets acquisition means identifying and investing in the item that directly contribute to your growth efficiently and effectively, competitively, giving you an advantage. Consider these types of assets and their leverage potential. Tangible assets, we talk about that. Just real estate, machinery equipment, vehicles. These are assets for your business as well. Inventory is an asset. Having things back up for what you sell. In the wintertime you sell this more, you want to have that available, or they're going to need this service because this you want to pay attention to the inventory you need, and that's going to also shape your marketing focus. So intangible assets, intellectual property, very important. Start early. Patent, trademark, copyright, trade secrets can create exclusive marketing position, licensing opportunities, and significant long-term growth. So mind your intellectual property and know that it is an asset. But towards your investing in software technologies, that's intangible assets. Developing and acquiring specified technology that can help you be competitive and put you on the cutting edge of your industry, streamlining your operations, making it easy, creating entire new revenues and streams. So this is under intangible asset. You create this. You have to be creative. Customer list and data. Always keep the list of people who you're working with. Stay in contact with them. Put them on your mailing list. A well-managed and segmented customer database is a valuable asset for marketing and sales. Maybe this base likes this type of fragrance that you sell. Other one don't. You want to have a detailed list of who is who, what is what. That's going to help guide your marketing skills. Marketing plan. Where you're going to focus in. Does that make sense? So always keep building relationships, meeting people, and don't just go get data farms of email addresses because they may be dead ends. Okay, get outside. Brand equity. A strong, recognizable brand is intangible asset that commands loyalty and a premium price. That's why sometimes you can start your business and be in business for 3 years and don't really have a profit. But once people start to know, it's like, hey, they've been in business for a long time, they've been striving. It gives your brand more brand credibility. I think that's what's been helping us because we have been in Atlanta so long and we have escaped getting mixed up with people who were compromised. So we still are here. We've run into people who we have done business with, met at other conventions, have come here like I remember, like, oh yeah, you was talking there, but they now see that the brand I have and the business I have, that it has some brand credibility because they're like that. She's been around a long time. She's still out here pushing this. It didn't go down the hole. She didn't get in trouble for it. Do you see what I'm saying? So brand credibility is not always making $1 million. It's pushing and striving and keeping your name out there. How do these create leverage? In conclusion, by reducing reliance on external services, own versus leasing, by increasing output, by opening new marketing gates, by providing collateral for future finances, and by simply making your business more robust and capable. Okay? This is how do these actually create leverage, everything that we went over. So this is going to get into some of the, I think, we're going to talk about a little bit of homework, building a credible business, the essential foundations. And I want you guys to look at this. Key pillars of credible businesses include, again, I'm going to need you to do this, guys, today. One, strong financial records. Impeccable balance sheets, income statements, and cash flow projections are non-negotiable. Lenders want to see a clear picture of your past performance and future potential. Now, I need you guys to look at your financial report. If you don't have financial reports for yourself, look at your personal financial reports because as a new business owner, some lenders allow you to use your personal credit and your payback history to obtain business loans for the first time. Does that make sense? So that's why I said it starts with you. You having good credit, and you can use that to piggyback into your business. Positive credit history. So that's what I said. I want you to review your financial history and your credit history. It says lenders want to see a clear picture of your past performance. Are you able to show that? And even if you make a mistake, you want to look and see where you fall. Go look at it. It hurts, but you'll figure it out and you'll fix it. Because maybe you'll be able to go into a traditional lending agreement next year. Start now though with the research, with the fixing. So that's part of your homework. Review your financial records. Review your credit history. Okay. Both personal and business credit sources play a vital role. Pay your bills on time, manage business responsibility and debt, avoid unnecessary risk. So again, I want you to take some of the concepts that we talked about earlier. As I told you, when I said take notes, I said take notes. Those are the parts that are part of your business plan. So our goal is to create a clear business plan, a well accountable, strategic demonstration of foresight and direction in our business. It shows you know how to acquire assets while being utilized to generate returns. So a clear business plan, that's what it shows. Reputation and relationship. I need you to think about this, okay? A good stand with suppliers, customers, and industry peers speaks value. Strong bank relationships are also crucial. Go think about that. Which ones are your strong relationships? Which ones are actually assets? What relationships are assets I have? What is a liability? Subtract that asset from your liabilities and you're going to see your net worth. And if you have more liabilities with relationships, debt, and everything, your net worth is low. And the bank you're high risk. So let's look at that. Reputation of relationships today. And transparency and integrity. Very important. Being transparent, everything we talk about today, that's like it's a little scary. It hurts to look at all the stuff we done messed up on and the things that we have to fix. But be transparent with yourself first. And that's going to start the great practice of it. While you're opening your business and practicing it, but transparency and integrity. Honest communication and ethical practice builds long-term trust, builds long-term respect, and also builds long-term success. Okay? So we have about 10 minutes left in this particular seminar. I want to say thank you for being here. Please hit the like button. Let me know if you're getting anything from this seminar. If you would like, you can attend in person at the Adams Street Library in Fulton County. Again, we are partnering with the Adams Street Library in Fulton County and other vendors in the Atlanta area. Please join us after live where we have our food giveaway. Okay, guys, let's get back to it. Let's finish off this session. The symbolic relationship of leverage, assets, and credibility. So that's kind of what we want to finish off with so you can see the relationship between creating leverage, your assets, and credibility is important. This is where the magic happens. The credible business isn't just to acquire assets, it is to build a legacy, create credibility in your industry, in your community, become a leader, an innovator, a policy changer. Credibility unlocks capital. When you have solid track records of a clear plan, lenders are more willing to provide favorable terms on loans for assets acquisition, lower interest rates, longer payment periods, and higher loan amounts. So credibility helps unlock a lot. Asset enhance assets enhance credibility, even if they don't think you're credible. Because it's hard for us as black people. They say, look at me like, oh, that's young girl. But then when they look at the paper, they're like, ooh, credible. She had a credible history. Does that make sense? So assets, enhancement, and credibility, owning it is significant. Productive assets makes your business look more stable and valuable. These assets can serve as collateral, as I told you, further reducing risk from lenders and potential securing even a better finance term. The better you do, the better deal you get. Leveraging amplifies your return. By acquiring the right assets, using your credibility to secure good finances, you can boost operational efficiency, increase your revenue, and reduce costs. The amplified return that strengthens your financial position further enhance your credibility. Does that make sense? So the more that you can show them that you're stable with paying bills, you have steady revenue, you're good at documentation, you have your eggs in the ducky, you look more credible. All right. So practical steps to implement this strategy. Okay, this is where we're gonna finish off and we're gonna talk about the long term game. I gave you homework already. One, practical strategies. One, assess your needs and opportunities. This is part of your business plan too. What's my needs? What's my opportunities? Can I get this product here close? Do I need this? Can I use something else? What assets will genuinely move the needle for your business? Don't buy for your ego. Buy for strategic implementation. Does that? Don't buy because it look good. Buy because you strategically you do something with it. Building and maintaining your financial health. Focus on consistent profitability, healthy cash flow, and responsible debt management. And it starts at home and separating your income from your business income from your personal income. Cultivate lenders relationship. Don't wait until you need a loan. Build relationship with banks and financial institutions. Go to local community events, marketing meetings where you're meeting loan officers. And I have met plenty of loan officers going to these network events out here and things like that, and real estate agents. And they're ready in the basket. They know me. They kind of have an idea of what I talked about that day, and they're ready to make some connections. So have to build your portfolio up so you can have some options and also a diverse point of education. You want to be able to ask everybody the same question and make sure you get the same answer. That's doing your due diligence now. Does that make sense? Girl, let's go. Now, due diligence. That's the next thing on my list. Y'all know I love that word. Due diligence is the key. Thoroughly researching any assets you plan to acquire. Understand its true cost, the maintenance of it, the return on investment. You're gonna buy a car, you're a car collector. What is the maintenance on it? How much is for these parts? Is a BMW, the BMW parts you can't get right now. You wait 6 months, whatever it is, do your true value assessment on it because in the long run, it's going to save you a lot of money. Structure finance smartly. Can we say it any different? How many different ways can we say it? Explore different financial options, loan, lease, lines of credit. What works for you? Maybe you don't want to do a conventional loan. Maybe you could do a line of credit that you can pull and, go invest in a little here and then pay on it. And, some people do well with line of credit. I like line of credit. And choose the one that best aligns with your cash flow needs and growth objectives. Integrate and optimize. Once acquired, ensure new assets are fully integrated into your operation and optimized for maximum leverage. If you buy a property, you may want to use it, and that help you have tax credit. You see what I'm saying for that particular property for your business, whatever it is. You do business at home and they ask you how much square foot you use at home. That's the tax credit. So when you have a business and you use a part of that and you're renting out another part of that, based on your zoning and new laws, you have income coming in and you're able to get tax credits because you have your office there. Does that make sense? Leverage the leverage. The long game, creating leverage through assets acquisition while building a credible business is not a quick fixed. It is strategic. Long-term approach that acquires discipline, foresight, and a keen understanding of both your business and the wider economic landscape. It's not just what you want to do, how you want to do it. What market are you in? Can I sell this? Is it wanted? Is it needed? I've been in a tax game, get lien game for 6 years, and now it's more robust because it was an unseen gem. But if I would have left it alone years ago, I would have been ready right now to educate, educate, educate. So foresight of your investment, hold on to your dream, keep keen understanding of both your business and the wider economic landscape, as we said. But for entrepreneurs aiming for sustainable growth and lasting impact is the most important, powerful strategies you can employ to turn your vision into a robust, successful reality. Okay. I think that was a great seminar. Y'all let me know. It was action packed. I got homework to do. If you don't know, you have about 7 items that you should already have on your list to do. And about 5 of them are literally for your business plan. And no, about 10 items. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all know Mickey. You got 10 items. And the other 5 is more on concept building, okay, and incorporating those concepts in your mindset while you're creating your business plan. So, with that being said, I want to say thank you so much for being here with me, Lady Lashley. It's been a pleasure because I love teaching, I love learning, I love doing your due diligence. Thank you for being here, listening. Please hit the like button, and you'll see the resources at the bottom of this video. You can find the registry for this event on Eventbrite. We're here for the rest of the fall into the winter. We're going to gear you up to have an effective, efficient, robust marketing plan, business plan, and that will lead you to a more secure way of acquiring assets and being more credible. Okay. So with that being said, thank you for being here. We'll catch you next Wednesday at 2 o'clock.